Well, hi there and welcome back. It's Sharon, and today I want to do a little bit of an end of the year show. We're going to do part one this week and part two next week. And what I want to talk about is marketing and branding. And I want to keep this pretty simple, but this will allow you to go into the new year with a focus on the things you should be really putting your attention to. Now, if you remember, marketing is how you get leads, but branding is why they choose you. Now, you might be asking yourself, why should I care? You should care because it's these two things that will likely determine the success or the failure of your business over time. Everything that you do is marketing. Everything you do to generate leads falls under the marketing category. In your branding, you want to create both a physical presence and an online presence so that people choose you. They get to know your brand, and we'll dive more into that in the next show. But your brand creates trust, it creates loyalty, it builds authority, and you build a whole presence around your marketing. And that's why these two things go together, marketing and branding. Now, you have to make some marketing decisions. Marketing is lead generations, and part of what you'll choose is determined by your budget. You have to spend money for marketing. You can start out, spending less and spend more over time. But when it comes to marketing, you're going to have to spend your time and or your money. In the beginning, you might spend more of your time. Maybe that's the way you'll do it. You do things that are free or almost free. And over time, as you get more busy, then you can ramp up the spending part of your marketing. So you'll have your budget to consider, but also your personal preferences and things you're good at, or maybe things you hate. Now, for me, marketing could be cold calling. That's a free activity, pretty much free or very low cost, but I'm never going to cold call anyone. I'll just tell you that. That's not me. It's not my personality. There are some people that love it, and God bless them, but that's not how I want to spend my time. Now, other people spend their time driving for dollars. That is something that's free or very low cost, except for your gas. So those are some free strategies. So when you're thinking about marketing, take into consideration your budget, the things you like to do, the things you're good at, but know that you're going to have to do some marketing and build out a plan that will grow over time. Now, I talked a little bit about your brand and what it does for you, but your branding at its essence is the way people feel about you. It's your presence and how you show up. And this is so very important in marketing. It's how you show up at every touch point in your mail, on the phone, all of those things. So just be aware, like I said, we're not going to focus on branding today, but branding is something you do need to take into consideration, because if you're not building your brand, if you are not consistently, consciously building your brand, then someone else is going to build it for you. Your brand will become what someone else says about you. Someone else puts a comment online, and that's not what you want. You want to build your own credibility. You want to build your own authority. And this is probably the most part of why you need to be cognizant of branding when it comes to marketing. And that is, you can't be the best kept secret in town. You've got to become known in your marketplace. You've got to build this purposeful presence online so that when you send your marketing out, people will have a reference for choosing you. Now, if you think back to the way people used to choose real estate investors and who to work with, it would be whoever came across their path. Maybe that was with direct mail marketing. They might meet someone at the real estate investors meeting. They might meet someone, I can remember back in the days of bench ads and billboard ads and things. There were all kinds of ways that people would find out about you. From there, they would see whatever that was. We'll just say it was a direct mail piece. And they would determine from that direct mail piece if you seemed trustworthy, if you seemed like you would be a good fit for them. And then they would just call you. Well, that's not that way anymore. There's a third step in the middle. People will do some type of marketing. Then your potential motivated seller will go look you up online. They will look for your website. They will look for a presence online. They'll look through your social media. And after they've done all of these things, after they've thoroughly checked you out, then and only then will they pick up the phone to call you or fill out a form on your website. They're going to look for some credible evidence that you are a real business and a trustworthy person online. That's the world as it is today. So just understand that. And like I said, we'll talk about how to do all of this in the next show. Okay, let's dive into marketing. There are a lot of ways to market. There are a lot of free or almost free things like driving for dollars, cold calling, bandit signs cost you a little bit of money. You can work through wholesalers. A lot of online sites are free. Most, in fact, are free. But you have direct mail marketing, you have websites, and so many more. Now, anybody that's known me for any length of time knows that I love direct mail marketing. I specialize in off-market deals and in probates, and those you have to reach primarily through direct mail marketing. And it's important that you understand this because most people simply will not go to the trouble to do this. You will have so much less competition working off-market deals, and direct mail is an integral part of that. Now, you need a website, a lead generation website, not just a one-pager that you threw up there that says, hey, I'm great, and this is, I can buy your house. You need a really rock-solid lead generation website. And networking, that is my number 3 way to get deals, to get known, to build my brand, networking. It's not so much about who you know as about who knows you. That's really when it becomes important, because all this marketing and branding goes together. Because when someone has a deal, you want them to think of you. They can't do that if they don't know about you. We're back to brand again. So direct mail, lead generation, and websites are my top 3. My number 4 way to get deals is through follow-up. Understand that as many as 80% of your deals will come from follow-up. They may come after the person has already said no, but you won't have another crack at them unless you do follow-up. And this all comes about a different topic that we need to talk about, is that you need a CRM. And by the way, I'm going to have resources for you at the end of the show. I will have resources for a reliable place where you can outsource your direct mail. I have a resource for a CRM to put all of your leads into. And by the way, they have a free version of that one. I have website resources for you. So I've got you covered on this one. So don't get freaked out by all these things you need, but you need all of these things. Now, as I said, when it comes to direct mail, I've always worked off market deals. I just didn't want to get in there and scrap around with thousands of agents and investors for a property. So that's what led me down the path of off-market deals and then to probates in 2008. Just a little bit about probates, folks. These are gold. These are the gold of off-market deals, because there is a new group of people every single month that need our help. That's never going to change. It's the cycle of life. And these properties are going to end up in probate, and many of them will be sold to an investor at a discounted price. You can learn more about probates over on my blog, Louisville Gals Real Estate blog, or you can check out my course, probateinvestingsimplified.com. All of these things are ways that you can learn about probates, but no matter how you learn about them, you should take advantage of adding this part of this lead generation strategy to your business. And that's what it is. It's leads for your business, probates. So understand too that when it comes to direct mail marketing, you think you're going to have this huge amount of competition, when in reality, 90% of the people will quit on or before the 3rd mailing. Now think about that for a minute. On or before the 3rd mailing. Yet 81% of your deals, not your calls, but your deals, will come at or beyond the 5th mailing. So you can see that just by staying in the game, you're going to be way ahead of the game. So that's how direct mail marketing works. You send your marketing for most niches to everyone every month. Now, there are some exceptions. Pre-foreclosures, you would market to those folks from shorter time frames, because they have a shorter time frame to get things figured out. But in general, for most off-market deals, you're going to market to everyone every month. Now, I touched on your lead generation website. Why do you need that? Well, number one, you need a place for people to find you. When they are up in the middle of the night, when they are worried, when they have a property that they have to sell, they're going to go online and they're going to Google terms like "sell my house fast," those house buying people, they'll just start putting in all kinds of terms. And then that's when the websites start to come up. Buy my house, sell my house fast. They'll put in terms like that. These are folks that they are overly motivated compared to most other sellers that you'll get, because they are actively looking for help. So that's why you need a website. It's for your credibility, it's for your authority, and it is so that these folks that are up searching for help can find you. If you don't have a website, they're just simply not going to find you. They're going to find the person that has the website. Now, I wanted to touch on networking just a little bit. There are just endless possibilities when it comes to networking. You should all be networking with your local real estate investors club or your meetups in your area. Those are people that where you can buy and sell deals to, buy deals from. They do that all the time. These are people that can teach you things that you don't know. So you need to belong to your REIA group. Number two, you need to belong to at least one non-real estate investing networking group. That could be anything from the Chamber of Commerce to for Women, NAWBO, the National Association of Women's Business Owners. It could be any one of the meetup groups in your area that are not real estate related specifically. Now, you will find real estate related people there, but this is so important because everyone knows someone that has to sell a property, and you want to widen your sphere of influence so that these folks, if you think about this for a minute, if you're in some sort of a group like Toastmasters, let's say there are 50 people in your group and you are the only real estate investor there. What are the odds that one of these 50 people are going to need your services? They're going to know someone that has a property, a distressed property, probably where they need a quick sale. So that's why you want to do this and why it is so critical that you do it. But one thing I'd like to say about networking, and that is a tip I would say, is don't always be in the ask position. And what do I mean by that? I mean, have something to give. I know multiple people that have volunteered to help out in someone else's business a day a week, sometimes for more than that, just to learn from them. They don't ask to be paid. They don't expect to be paid. Maybe they work on a Saturday or they do some work for them at night for the absolute gift of getting to go into their business and learn how their business works. I've known people that have volunteered for 6 months. They work a second job and they volunteer and they learn every part of the real estate business. Now, you don't have to go to that length, but have something to offer in return. If you're asking for them to mentor you, what can you give back to them? So don't always be just in the ask position, and don't just be a lurker. So many of us have gone to meetings, and I've been guilty of this too, where you just lurk around. You watch and you see what everyone else is doing, what they're saying, but you don't really join in the conversation. Get in the habit of introducing yourself, of telling them, even if you're brand new, hey, I'm brand spanking new, or hey, I'm Brad, I'm a wholesaler. I'd like to see how we can network together, how we could maybe do business together. Just introduce yourself. The first key, this introduction should be for you to ask the other person, tell me what you do. Tell me, about your real estate investing business. Once they have told you about their business and they've opened up the conversation, then they will say to you, what do you do? So it's all very organic. It's not awkward, but just remember that if you have trouble with these conversations, then that's what you do it. That's how you do it. Now, I want to circle back a little bit to follow up. And I said as many as 80% of your deals will come at or beyond, or will come after someone has said no. They'll come from follow-up. They'll come from constantly showing up and asking, are you ready to sell the property? If you have made an offer on a property, you could call or text them, a few days later. Maybe keep in touch every week, because there will be people out there that will be doing that. Your whole goal with marketing is to build a marketing machine that will work for you 24/7. That's your goal with marketing. Now, except for things like a follow-up and things like that, you can do that if you set up your systems properly. Number one, you need a marketing calendar. It's fine to have an online calendar. I have an online calendar, but I also have physical calendars. And when it comes to marketing, you need a marketing calendar. You need a CRM, a place to keep your leads. You need to do direct mail and you need to outsource it. You can automate your direct mail. Think about that for a minute. If you just picked up the phone and made a call once a month and they sent out your mailing, yes, it's going to cost you, something for this service. But trust me when I say you cannot do it as cheaply as these mail houses can do it for you, and you don't have to do it. And your mail goes out on time every single month. So when it comes to your website, I want to touch on that. You can automate a lot of things on your website. It can, if you have the proper website, when someone wants to sign up, a form will pop up and then it will send you that information. So all of these things are automation type of things. They're systems and processes. You want to make this as easy as you can. And you do that by knowing exactly when you're going to market. Back to your marketing calendar. I'm going to order my direct mail on the first Monday of every month, or whenever that is. And then once the leads start coming in, I'm going to talk to them on the phone, or someone else is going to talk to them on the phone, or pull the lead off of the website. Then what happens next is they go into the CRM. That's where they're stored. So you can see how you can start to set this up so that it's a step-by-step process that you don't get overwhelmed by. Technology is infuriating a little bit, but it's also awesome. So that's just a little bit of an overview of marketing. As I said, in next week's show, I'm going to talk more about branding and some practical steps that you can take to start to build your marketing and branding, to tie all of that together. We'll be focusing mainly on branding. But I wanted to wrap this up a little bit today and say that it doesn't have to be confusing. It doesn't have to be complicated. But you do need a plan. You do need a plan. And you can get a marketing plan template over on the blog at the Louisville Gals Real Estate blog. You can download it. You can fill it out. You can put down the step-by-step of everything. And then you'll know exactly what you need to be doing on any given week or any given month. So I will see you back here next week to talk about branding. And I'll be sure to link these two shows together just in case you might be hearing one and miss the other one. I will also put the links to all the resources that I mentioned for the CRM, the direct mail company, websites, all of those links. I'll put all of the links in the show notes. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Bye for now.